Hi everyone, welcome back to Van House Conversions. I just wanted to start this video with a bit of an explanation and an apology, as I've really neglected doing this kind of video and just filming this video several times because I've bought a new GoPro and my old GoPro kept making horrible background noise. This is now the fourth time I've tried to film this. I've remembered how much I enjoy it, and it's a really good insight into Van House Conversions as a business, how we do things, the passion and love and energy and blood, sweat and tears that goes into every one of our vans. And I think it's because it requires so much time to make a video like this alongside building our vans, and because we don't build them to sell, we build them to order for a customer, and often they're hoping to use them by a certain date, or they've got plans for the summer or all sorts of stuff. It's meant that it just wasn't realistic to or possible to give you something consistent. So I'm going to really do my utmost to do a video every Wednesday now. I've set a specific appointment or thing in my diary that was going to repeat every Wednesday, and we're trying to get it uploaded by that night. And it will be a mixture of things. To be honest, it will be some progress on what we're working on. It may be something about the workshop or what we've been up to. We've recently bought our own little small transit van after having sold my transit. I had the itch to get another. So that's going to probably get converted to some extent over the next sort of 6 months, and otherwise it's going to just be a regular thing now. So I got a bit kind of I suppose it just made sense to me at the time to just do a video of the van when it was finished, which was a mistake really, because what I watch the most of myself is people building something in the progression rather than the finished product generally. So the journey's half the fun. So I'm going to do my best to get back into it now. So that's a kind of an apology and an explanation really. To update you where we are at the moment, we've got a Mercedes Vario library bus on site, which isn't ours. This is a customer one, so really lucky to have that, as there's not lots of them around. This one's a big black one, big red stripe around the bottom of it. It's about a year newer than ours. The body's in much better condition, so it's not needed to be chopped to pieces like ours was. If you any kind of long-term subscribers, if you look back, you'll see there's videos of me with our library bus with various parts of it removed with aluminium put back in place of it. So this is a slightly more civilized affair, although it's got its own share of gremlins anyway, as they all do, as it's been driven by about 1 million different people, and none of them probably cared about it that much. But overall, it's a really low mileage, fantastic example of a Vario with a big box on the back, basically. So in my eyes, one of the best platforms, unless you want to get into a 10-ton lorry, which looks ugly, whereas a Vario looks amazing. So I'll get started with that in a second. And we've also got a Peugeot Boxer on site, which has only recently been delivered to us from the customer. So that will be getting started on towards the end of August, once we've done a substantial amount on the library bus. So over the next few weeks, I'll try and do a weekly update on the library bus specifically. I'll give you a glance around the workshop at the end of this video as well, as that's changed a lot since the last time I did any kind of footage of it. So yeah, I'll show you the library bus. So as you can see, or may not remember, this was our unit before, which is actually now the kind of main unit still, but this is also ours. So we've got the space where this bus is parked and the space behind it, and the unit indoors far at the back. You can probably see the double doors. We're actually having concrete laid here in a couple of weeks time, and some new RSJs put in, so it's going to be a real upgrade to have a huge concrete slab added on essentially to the one that I laid. The one here will be perfectly flat and done professionally, unlike my amateur job of ours, which has done me very well over the last 3 years. But it's about time we had something really flat that we can move around on without scratching ourselves. So back on topic, this is a Mercedes Vario 813D 2007, and it is it's built by the same company that built ours, so you can probably tell it's not made out of aluminium like ours. We're going to be keeping this air sliding door, as you know, the body's intact, and we've been able to do that. We've removed the disabled lift and everything library related, which has taken, you know, over a week to get it fully stripped out, including all of the wiring. As you can see, there's holes all over the roof, which are going to be either covered or used for skylights and max air roof fans. We've obviously got to bolt on some solar panels as well. There's going to be 800 watts of solar on the roof. Back to the entrance though, this porch area, we actually made this, so there was nothing here about a week ago. This has all been made by me and my neighbour, who's a fabricator slash welder, panel beater, a man of many skills. And yeah, this stairway was the original stairway that was next to the disabled lift, which we've brought back to bare metal. You know, re-primed it, fixed any little bits of rust that were there. And then obviously we built this out of box section steel and sheet steel, and it's all been seam welded, then resealed on the inside as well with a kind of panelled a seam sealant, and then it's been sprayed in primer and sprayed in 2K black paint, so it's super strong. It's going to be, you know, it shouldn't ever rust, and it's going to be a great entrance for the new owners as they come in, having this lovely little sort of area to put your shoes and all sorts of cool stuff, and having the stairway up. As you're in, as we know inside, you can probably tell we've not built anything yet, but just to give you a rough idea of the layout, there's going to be a big shower there, 700 by 1100, and then over the cab is going to be a single bed for their son with a ladder to climb up there. We'll then have here, there'll be a two single seats, with a table between them, which will be for the kids whilst their parents are driving. And as you kind of look down the van, there'll be a small little Juliet balcony wall here, which will meet the side of the shower. On the side of the shower where the door is, there'll be a shoe rack, some space to hang coats, and the controls for the air door, which is currently disconnected, but that will be where they can kind of open and close the door. Makes a great kind of whoosh noise as it opens and closes, so that'll be the kind of only bit of the library which will be remaining really. But I think it will add to the character of the whole bus. So the window here will be staying, but there will be a sofa going in front of it, which will pull out to be a bed. It should be a kind of small double, about 1200 wide, but about 1800 long. So that'll be perfect for two people if needed, or a nice big bed for one person. There's going to be a wood burner just there where the light is. That'll be made by Julian at Fireweaver. It's the same chap that made the wood burner that's in Emile, our Renault low loader that we did about 18 months ago. If you look back at that video, you'll see that there. So there'll be obviously a flue going through the roof. That'll be a twin-walled flue made by Salamander Stoves. Then there's going to be basically about 1500 mil from the rear, so 1.5 meters from the back of the bus. There'll be a wall. It'll be 3/4 length, so there'll be an opening here so that you can climb up into a double bed, and there'll be a single bed underneath. So it'll be a really long single bed with a wardrobe at the end, and then behind that single bed underneath the double bed still will be a garage, which will house a water tank and various things, probably the heater as well, so all the ducting can go under the floor and then up inside the van. And then backing onto that wall, there'll be a L-shaped kitchen next to the wood burner, and the wood burner will have a window on the side of it, so as you walk in, if the fire's on, you get this great view of the wood inside of the wood burner going. Yeah, that's the rough layout. The holes in the floor, that's where the hydraulics for the disabled lift used to be. That used to be a metal box sort of sunk below the floor, which was rusty and just wasn't worth keeping, so we've cut that out, put a new bar across, brought it all back to bare metal and primed it again, and that'll be getting a coat of black paint before we put a new piece of ply over it. Underneath here is where the original leisure batteries that were fitted by Bailey bodybuilders were, and the box that they were in was just beyond repair. I'm amazed that it even made it here with the batteries still there. They were about 350 kilos, and the bottom of that box was rusted through completely, so it's a miracle they were even still there. So that's probably about 400 kilos we've shed just from the batteries and the thing they were stored in. And given the layout, it doesn't really make sense to have kept that anyway. So there'll be a bed above it. There's no means of getting to it otherwise. So it's a nice bit of weight shed from the back. And the new battery will be a 460 amp hour lithium battery that's made by Roma. We always use Roma batteries now. They're probably the most competitive pricing wise on the market, and we've fitted their batteries in a couple of vans now, and they've worked faultlessly. So yeah, that'd be, you know, same amount of battery power, if not more, for 300 kilos of weight saving, 350 kilos of weight saving even. So yeah, that'd be a great sort of update to the overall setup in the bus, plus the 800 watts of solar on the roof. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll do another video next week just to give you an idea what we've done, and there should be windows and skylights and roof fans in by then. A lot of the work we've done you can't really see because it's been, you know, first of all I didn't do a video when it was all looking like a library still, but there's been weeks of stripping out and obviously building the entrance and just generally making sure it's a good platform to build from. And we've still got some more stuff to do underneath. Actually, the storage bins that are underneath are completely rusted through. So we're going to be cutting those out, making new ones, sending them off to a powder coaters and refitting them. So if I quickly show you these little compartments underneath, there's one here and then there's 3 down the other side. They're all going to be replaced and renewed basically, so they'll have loads of storage underneath for wellies and God knows what, and potentially wood for the wood burner. Yeah, so after we've done all of that, we'll be starting to line and insulate and wire the bus. So once that's done, I will again do another video probably in a couple of weeks. So yeah, expect some good updates over the next 2 weeks. And I'll just give you a quick glance around the workshop now so you can get a feel for the difference from before. So the roof outside is still the original roof, but we've put a new corrugated roof over the top of it, so you've got these lovely rusty panels still, but it's got a brand new roof over the top. And then we've built just all sorts of, you know, shelving and storage, and it's a really functional space now. And this workbench I believe was made, I think, last time I did a video, but if not, here it is. So it's our kind of main workbench with all sorts of bits of sort of offcuts that we keep, all of the lightweight timber offcuts, which is lovely to work with, and definitely don't want to throw it away if we can. Back here is a little corridor with a little cupboard in there for storage. Got my other half's barbering room in here, which if anyone's interested, I could do a more thorough video on this and how we built it and why we built it. So just let me know if that's of any interest. And then we've got in here a little sort of middle room really. It's mainly just a kind of kitchen area almost for me to cook. And just a bit of storage really, and some dry storage, well dust-free storage for some of the paints and sealants and stuff. And then back here used to be where the dog pen was and really wasn't a usable space. Now it's got all sorts of shelving, so all of the bits and bobs we use all nicely organised. Little fridge with some food, and just generally an office space with a big TV for, you know, showing photos, and for a customer sit down and we can, you know, discuss all the different things we could do with their van and what they're looking at, and visualizing and looking at reference videos and other vans and stuff. Yeah, it's turned out to be a really good little space actually to sit down and get some admin done, as I wasn't great at giving myself any time for that, so I'm trying to make an effort to do that. And now the main priority is, alongside the vans obviously, is to make sure I do a video every week. So yeah, thank you for sticking with our channel. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't, and make sure you like the video, or give it a dislike if you don't like it, or leave a comment why you don't like it. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one, and thanks for watching.